Peace is not something the world grants you, nor is it something that can be taken away by anyone else. It is an internal sanctuary, one that you build brick by brick with your choices, your mindset, and your presence. Imagine for a moment that no matter what storm rages around you, your peace is unshaken. This is not fantasy. It is a state of being cultivated through awareness, discipline, and the unwavering belief that your inner world is yours alone to govern. People will try to disturb you, intentionally or otherwise. Words will be said, actions will be taken, and circumstances will arise that seem specifically designed to shatter your calm. But what if you refuse to react? Not in the sense of suppressing your emotions or pretending to be unaffected, but rather by anchoring yourself so deeply in your own sense of self that nothing external can pull you out of alignment. It's not about resistance or denial, it's about mastery. It's about understanding that the power to remain undisturbed lies entirely within you. Every day presents countless opportunities to practice this. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and you feel that spark of irritation. Pause. In that split second, you have a choice. Do you let your peace be stolen by something so fleeting? Or do you remind yourself that the other person's actions are not a reflection of your worth or your state of being? It's a small moment, but it is a profound one. The same applies to larger disturbances. A harsh word from a friend, a disagreement with a loved one, or even an unexpected setback at work, these are not things that define you. They are simply events external to your true self. You must begin to see your peace as sacred. Protect it with the same dedication that you would protect something fragile and precious. This doesn't mean building walls around yourself or avoiding conflict. It means developing the strength to stay centered no matter what. When someone speaks harshly to you, it's not your obligation to take their words to heart. Their anger, their frustration, their negativity, it all belongs to them, not to you. You don't have to absorb it. You don't have to engage. You can acknowledge it, let it pass, and remain rooted in your calm. The same principle applies to situations beyond your control. Life will always throw challenges your way. You may lose something you value deeply, face rejection, or encounter failure. These experiences can be painful, yes, but they do not have to disturb your peace. Pain and peace can coexist. This is a critical realization. To be at peace does not mean to be free from hardship or sorrow. It means to face them without losing your grounding. You can grieve without despair. You can be disappointed without becoming disheartened. You can remain steady even when the world seems to shake around you. This steadiness comes from knowing that your peace is rooted in something deeper than external circumstances. It is rooted in who you are. And who you are is not the sum of your experiences, nor the opinions of others, nor the successes or failures you encounter. Who you are is something infinite, something unchanging. When you identify with this deeper self, disturbances lose their power. They are like waves crashing against a rock. They may make noise. They may even wear away at the surface over time, but they cannot dislodge the rock from its place. Cultivating this kind of peace requires practice. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's not something you achieve once and for all. It's a way of living, a continuous process of returning to yourself. Meditation can help. So can journaling, mindfulness, or simply taking a few moments each day to sit in silence and reconnect with your inner being. Whatever tools resonate with you, use them. The more you practice, the stronger your foundation becomes. Another key is to release attachment. Much of the disturbance we feel comes from clinging to expectations, to outcomes, to relationships, to possessions. When we hold on too tightly, we give these things the power to shake us. But when we learn to let go, to trust that we will be okay no matter what, we become unshakable. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care without dependency. You love without fear. You strive without desperation. And in doing so, you free yourself from the chains of external validation. Forgiveness is also essential. When you hold on to resentment, it is like carrying a weight that drags you down. The person who hurt you may not even be aware of the pain they caused, yet you continue to suffer. Forgiveness is not about excusing their behavior, it's about releasing yourself from the burden of carrying it. It's about reclaiming your peace. The moment you let go of the anger, the bitterness, the need for revenge, you step into freedom. And in freedom, there is peace. You may wonder if this is all easier said than done. And it is. But that's the point. Peace is not the easy path, it's the meaningful one. It's the path of self-awareness, self-discipline, and self-compassion. It requires you to be vigilant, to catch yourself when you start to spiral into reaction, to choose over and over again to return to your center. Some days it will be harder than others. Some days you will falter. That's okay. Each moment is a new opportunity to begin again. Think of the people who inspire you most. Chances are, they are not the ones who are easily rattled. They are the ones who carry a quiet strength, a calm presence, an unwavering sense of purpose. This is not because their lives are free from challenges or because they are naturally immune to stress. It is because they have chosen time and again to act as if no one and nothing can disturb their peace. You can make that choice too. It comes down to this: you are the guardian of your own peace. No one else can take it from you unless you allow them to. The next time you feel the stirrings of disturbance, remember that you have the power to remain calm. Take a deep breath. Anchor yourself in the present moment. Remind yourself that you are not the storm, you are the sky that holds it. The storm will pass, but your peace can remain unshaken and eternal. Peace is not something granted by the world or determined by external circumstances. It is an internal state entirely under your control. To recognize that your peace is self-governed is to step into your power. It means understanding that no one else can truly disturb your peace unless you allow them to. People, events, and situations may attempt to shake you, but your reaction is ultimately your choice. This realization is liberating because it places responsibility and the ability to change firmly in your hands. When you rely on external factors for peace, you make it fragile. If your calm depends on everyone treating you well, life unfolding exactly as you expect, or circumstances aligning perfectly, then your peace becomes conditional and unstable. Life is unpredictable, and people are imperfect. Challenges, disagreements, and unforeseen changes are inevitable. True peace, however, is unshaken by these fluctuations because it arises from within, grounded in your inner stability. To cultivate internal peace, you must first take ownership of your emotional responses. When someone acts unkindly or unfairly toward you, their behavior reflects their own inner world, not yours. By recognizing this, you can detach from the need to react defensively or emotionally. This detachment doesn't mean indifference, it means choosing not to let external negativity penetrate your core. It's a decision to remain centered no matter what. Self-awareness plays a critical role here. Begin by observing your reactions to disturbances. Notice how quickly your mind assigns blame or judgment. With practice, you can interrupt this automatic response and choose a more peaceful path. Pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this worth sacrificing my peace for most often? The answer is no. Peace is also rooted in self-acceptance. When you are at ease with who you are, external validation or criticism loses its power. You no longer need the world to confirm your worth because you already know it. This inner confidence becomes a fortress, shielding you from unnecessary stress or agitation. Peace is a choice, a commitment to remain anchored in your inner self, regardless of external turbulence. It's not about controlling the world around you, but mastering the world within you. Your peace is determined not by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond. External events are inevitable disruptions. Challenges and conflicts will arise, but they only have the power to disturb you if you allow them. Between every external event and your reaction to it lies a critical space, the space of choice. In that moment, you decide whether to react impulsively or respond with intention. This choice is where your power lies. Often we give away this power by reacting automatically. A rude comment, a missed opportunity, or an unexpected setback can trigger frustration, anger, or sadness. While these emotions are natural, they don't have to dictate your state of mind. By pausing and choosing your response, you reclaim control. You can acknowledge the emotion without letting it overwhelm you. Instead of letting the event pull you into turmoil, you can choose to remain calm, grounded, and focused. Consider this: when someone insults or criticizes you, their words do not have intrinsic power over your peace. It is your interpretation of those words and the value assigned to them that determines how they affect you. If you choose to see the insult as a reflection of the other person's state, rather than your own worth, you disarm its ability to disturb you. Similarly, when circumstances don't go as planned, you can choose to see the setback as temporary and focus on solutions rather than dwelling on frustration. The ability to choose your reactions comes with practice. Start by observing your automatic responses to daily irritations. When a driver cuts you off or a colleague speaks harshly, notice how quickly you feel the pull to react. In these moments, take a breath and ask yourself, does this situation deserve my peace most often? The answer is no. This simple awareness begins to shift your mindset from reactivity to responsiveness. By making conscious choices, you build resilience. Over time, external events lose their grip on your emotions. You realize that while you cannot control what happens, you can control how you respond. This freedom transforms your life, allowing you to navigate challenges with grace and protect your peace, no matter the circumstances. Your peace is sacred. It is the foundation of your well-being, clarity, and joy. Yet, it is often the first thing sacrificed in the face of conflict, stress, or external demands. To truly protect your peace, you must see it as a precious resource, one that deserves your unwavering care and attention. This is not selfishness. It is self-preservation. When your inner world is calm and balanced, you are better equipped to face life's challenges and contribute positively to those around you. Protecting your peace begins with boundaries. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or avoiding difficulties. They are about defining what you will and won't allow into your mental and emotional space. If someone consistently brings negativity or chaos into your life, it is your right to limit their access to you. If certain environments or activities drain your energy, it is your responsibility to step away. Boundaries are acts of self-respect, reminding you and others that your peace is not negotiable. Another key aspect of protecting your peace is learning to let go of what you cannot control. Much of the anxiety and frustration we experience comes from resisting reality, wanting people to act differently, situations to unfold as we desire, or the past to be rewritten. But clinging to these expectations only creates unnecessary suffering. When you accept things as they are, you free yourself from the emotional turbulence of resistance. Acceptance does not mean complacency, it means choosing to focus your energy on what you can influence while releasing the rest. Detachment from external circumstances is a powerful practice that allows you to maintain inner peace regardless of what happens around you. It doesn't mean you stop caring about your life or the people in it. Instead, it means not allowing your emotional stability to depend on things you cannot control. When you detach, you release the need to cling to outcomes, possessions, or external validation, freeing yourself from unnecessary suffering. Most of life's disturbances come from over-attachment, attachment to how others perceive you, attachment to specific results, or attachment to material things. This attachment creates a mental and emotional dependence that makes you vulnerable to external shifts. When things go well, you feel elated, but when they don't, you feel shaken, disappointed, or even devastated. Detachment offers a different way, the ability to care deeply while remaining centered and unshaken by changes. Detachment begins with the recognition that nothing outside of you is permanent. Circumstances change, people grow, and even your most cherished possessions can be lost. When you accept this truth, you stop holding on so tightly. You can enjoy the good without fearing its loss and face the difficult without becoming consumed by it. This doesn't mean apathy, it means embracing life fully while knowing that your core peace does not depend on external conditions. Practicing detachment also involves letting go of the illusion of control. Many of us try to shape the world around us to fit our expectations, but this often leads to frustration. When you detach, you shift your focus inward, directing your energy toward your responses rather than external events. You learn to navigate challenges with grace, knowing that while you cannot control every outcome, you can control how you show up. Mindfulness and self-awareness are essential tools for cultivating detachment. Pay attention to when you feel overly attached or reactive. Ask yourself, am I trying to control something beyond my reach? Is this attachment serving my peace? With time and practice, you'll develop the ability to observe life without clinging to it, to engage fully without losing yourself in it. Detachment is not about withdrawing from the world, it's about approaching it with wisdom. It allows you to experience life's highs and lows without being enslaved by them. In detachment, you find the freedom to live with authenticity, resilience, and unshakable peace. Pain and peace may seem like opposites, yet they can coexist harmoniously within you. Life is not free from suffering, and challenges are inevitable, but this does not mean you must forfeit your peace. True peace is not the absence of pain, it is the ability to remain grounded and centered even in the midst of it. When you accept this truth, you open yourself to a deeper, more resilient sense of calm that is not dependent on external conditions. Pain is a natural part of being human, whether it comes from loss, failure, or personal struggles. It is a signal that something in your life matters deeply. While pain demands attention, it does not have to dominate your inner world. Peace, on the other hand, comes from your capacity to hold space for pain without becoming consumed by it. This requires a shift in perspective. Instead of resisting or suppressing pain, You allow it to exist while anchoring yourself in the present moment. Acceptance is a cornerstone of this coexistence. When you resist pain, you amplify your suffering. Thoughts like this shouldn't be happening, or why me, create additional layers of frustration and distress. By accepting pain as part of your journey, you reduce its intensity. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation, it means acknowledging what is without judgment or denial. In this space of acceptance, peace can emerge. Compassion, both for yourself and others, is another pathway to reconciling pain with peace. Self-compassion allows you to approach your own struggles with kindness instead of harsh criticism. It creates an inner refuge where you can process your emotions without fear. Compassion for others fosters connection and understanding, reminding you that pain is a shared human experience. Practices like mindfulness and meditation help anchor peace in moments of pain. By focusing on your breath or the sensations of the present moment, you can create distance from overwhelming thoughts or emotions. This doesn't eliminate pain, but allows you to observe it without becoming entangled in it. Over time, you build the strength to carry both pain and peace within you. When you realize that peace is not about avoiding pain, but embracing it with grace, you unlock a deeper resilience. Pain becomes a teacher, and peace becomes your foundation. Together, they shape you into someone who can face life's trials with courage, wisdom, and unwavering calm. True peace is rooted in the understanding and connection to your authentic self, the part of you that exists beyond roles, expectations, and external circumstances. It is the self that is constant, unchanging, and deeply aware. When you root your peace in this inner truth, you create a foundation that cannot be shaken by the chaos or uncertainties of the outside world. Many people seek peace in external sources, achievements, relationships, possessions, or societal approval. While these things can bring temporary satisfaction, they are impermanent and ever-changing. When your sense of peace is tied to them, it becomes as fragile and fleeting as the sources themselves. By contrast, your true self exists independently of these factors. It is the quiet, stable essence beneath the noise of the ego and the demands of daily life. To root peace in your true self, you must first cultivate self-awareness. This involves looking inward and peeling back the layers of identity that have been shaped by external influences. Ask yourself, who am I beyond my job, my roles, my possessions, and my accomplishments? When you connect with this deeper self, you realize that your worth is intrinsic and not contingent upon external validation. This realization allows you to detach from the pressures and expectations that often disturb your peace. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, or spending time in solitude help you deepen this connection. In stillness, you can tune out the external world and listen to the quiet voice within. This inner awareness helps you distinguish between what is essential and what is transient. It reminds you that while emotions, thoughts, and circumstances may fluctuate, your core remains constant. Rooting peace in your true self also means embracing authenticity. When you live in alignment with your values, desires, and truths, you minimize the internal conflict that arises from trying to be someone you're not. Authenticity brings clarity and simplicity to your life, reducing the mental clutter that often fuels unrest. When your peace stems from your true self, it becomes unshakable. Challenges may arise and external situations may change, but they do not define or disrupt you. Your inner self becomes a sanctuary, a space of calm, strength, and unwavering confidence. In that space, you discover that true peace is not something you seek, but something you already are. Cultivating peace is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing practice, an intentional effort to create harmony within yourself regardless of external circumstances. It requires mindfulness and daily actions that align with your commitment to inner calm. Through consistent practice, peace becomes less an occasional experience and more a way of being. Mindfulness is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating peace. It teaches you to live fully in the present moment, to observe your thoughts and emotions without being consumed by them. Often the mind is preoccupied with regrets about the past or worries about the future, creating unnecessary tension and stress. Mindfulness interrupts this cycle, bringing your attention to the now, where peace is always accessible. Through mindful breathing, meditation, or simply noticing your surroundings, you can ground yourself in the present and calm the noise within. Daily habits play a significant role in fostering peace. Begin each day with a practice that centers you, whether it's a few minutes of meditation, journaling, or setting an intention for the day. These small rituals create a foundation of calm that you can carry into your interactions and responsibilities. Similarly, end your day with reflection or gratitude, releasing any tension or negativity before you rest. These bookends help you approach life with greater awareness and balance. Cultivating peace also involves recognizing and addressing internal triggers. Pay attention to what disturbs your calm, whether it's specific people, environments, or thought patterns. Instead of avoiding or suppressing these triggers, confront them with curiosity and self-compassion. Mindfulness helps you respond rather than react, giving you the space to choose peace even in difficult moments. Another essential practice is simplifying your life. Too much noise, clutter, or busyness can overwhelm the mind and create a sense of chaos. By prioritizing what truly matters and letting go of unnecessary distractions, you create room for peace to flourish. This doesn't mean withdrawing from the world, but approaching it with clarity and focus. Peace is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. Each time you return to your breath, redirect your thoughts, or choose calm over conflict, you strengthen your capacity for peace. Over time, these practices reshape your inner world, allowing peace to become a natural and enduring part of your life. Through mindfulness and daily commitment, you create a life where peace is not just a fleeting state, but your steady companion. Releasing attachment to outcomes is one of the most powerful ways to preserve your inner peace and cultivate resilience in the face of life's uncertainties. So much of the stress and frustration we experience comes from our attachment to specific results, whether in relationships, work, or personal goals. We invest our energy into a desired outcome and tie our sense of happiness, self-worth, or peace to its achievement. When the outcome aligns with our expectations, we feel elated, but when it doesn't, we feel disappointment, frustration, or despair. By letting go of attachment to outcomes, you free yourself from this emotional roller coaster. The first step in releasing attachment is recognizing that life is inherently uncertain. No matter how much planning, effort, or intention you put into something, the outcome is never fully in your control. External factors, the choices of others, and unforeseen circumstances can all influence the result. By accepting this truth, you begin to understand that attachment to outcomes is an illusion, something you cannot control. In doing so, you can focus your energy on what you can control: your effort, your response, and your attitude. Detaching from outcomes also means trusting the process. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success is the only acceptable result. But true fulfillment comes from the journey, not just the destination. When you release the need for a specific outcome, you become more present and engaged in the process itself. This shift in focus brings peace because you are no longer preoccupied with what may or may not happen. Instead, you are immersed in each step, finding joy in the work itself rather than in the end result. Letting go of attachment also involves embracing uncertainty. Many people fear failure or rejection, believing that these outcomes define their worth. But when you detach from the idea that a particular result is a reflection of your value, you open yourself to growth and learning. Failure becomes a stepping stone, not a final judgment. By releasing the need for a perfect outcome, you allow yourself to experiment, take risks, and learn without the pressure of needing to succeed every time. Forgiveness is one of the most transformative practices you can embrace to reclaim your peace. It is not about excusing or condoning the wrongs done to you. Rather, it is about releasing the emotional burden that resentment, anger, or bitterness can place on your heart. Holding on to past hurts keeps you tethered to the pain and negative emotions associated with those experiences, preventing you from moving forward with peace. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is an act of self-liberation. It frees you from the grip of the past and creates space for healing, growth, and inner peace. To forgive is to let go of the need for revenge or justice. It does not mean you forget the offense or allow it to continue. Rather, forgiveness is an internal process, a decision to release the hold that the hurt has on your emotional and mental well-being. When you forgive, you no longer give power to the person or event that caused the hurt. Instead, you reclaim your power, choosing peace over resentment. Forgiveness begins with recognizing the impact of holding on to anger or bitterness. These emotions, while natural in response to wrongdoing, can wreak havoc on your mental and physical health if they are not released. Carrying anger, especially over a prolonged period, often leads to stress, anxiety, and even physical ailments. Forgiveness allows you to break this cycle, freeing yourself from the emotional weight that hinders your peace. Forgiving does not mean that you approve of the hurtful actions or that you allow yourself to be mistreated again. It means acknowledging the hurt, but choosing to let go of the negative feelings that bind you to it. It's about releasing yourself from the emotional charge attached to the past. In doing so, you create space for healing and move forward with a sense of freedom that would otherwise be impossible. In some cases, forgiveness also involves forgiving yourself. We often hold ourselves accountable for mistakes, poor choices, or past regrets that we can no longer change. Self-forgiveness is essential for peace because it allows you to let go of self-judgment and guilt. Just as we forgive others for their mistakes, we must offer ourselves the same compassion and understanding. When you forgive yourself, you accept that you are human and that growth comes through learning from your past rather than punishing yourself for it. Forgiveness is a practice, not a one-time act. It may take time and repeated effort to let go of deep wounds or to forgive those who have hurt you. However, every time you choose forgiveness, you make it easier to find peace and move forward. It is a conscious decision to release the past and choose a future unburdened by resentment. By embracing forgiveness, you not only release others from their debts to you, but more importantly, you free yourself from the shackles of anger, resentment, and pain. You allow your heart to heal, and in doing so, you reclaim the peace that is rightfully yours. Forgiveness is an act of deep strength, and through it, you create a foundation of peace that can withstand any storm. Peace is not something that comes passively or by chance. It requires both discipline and awareness. It is an ongoing practice, a commitment to maintaining calm, balance, and clarity, even in the face of challenges. Achieving and sustaining peace requires effort, self-awareness, and the consistent application of mindful habits that support a tranquil mind and heart. Without discipline, peace can be fleeting, easily disturbed by external events or internal turmoil. Without awareness, you may not even recognize when your peace is slipping away or when your reactions are sabotaging your inner calm. Discipline in the context of peace is the ability to choose calm, to make conscious decisions about how you respond to life's ups and downs. This means developing habits that foster peace and practicing them consistently. Meditation, mindfulness, deep breathing, and regular moments of reflection are all forms of discipline that keep your mind centered and your emotions balanced. It's easy to forget about peace when life gets busy or stressful, but the disciplined act of returning to practices that promote inner stillness helps to maintain a sense of equilibrium. No matter what is happening around you, These practices strengthen your ability to respond with composure and clarity, even when external circumstances are challenging. In addition to discipline, awareness is crucial. Being aware of your thoughts, emotions, and reactions is the first step toward maintaining peace. Without awareness, it's easy to be swept away by negative emotions or impulsive reactions. Awareness involves observing your feelings without judgment, recognizing when your thoughts become negative or fearful, and understanding when your peace is being compromised. This mindfulness helps you catch yourself before you spiral into anxiety, anger, or frustration. It allows you to choose peace over emotional reactivity. Cultivating awareness also means being in tune with your needs, your boundaries, and your environment. It's important to recognize what causes you stress or discomfort and to take proactive steps to avoid or address those triggers. Awareness helps you see patterns in your behavior or reactions, which can be incredibly useful for making lasting changes in how you approach challenges. Through this awareness, you learn to adjust your mindset and behaviors to better support your peace, rather than reacting out of habit or old patterns. Peace is also about discipline in thought. Your thoughts shape your emotional state, so being disciplined in how you think is vital. Negative or fearful thoughts can quickly disturb your peace, but with awareness, you can challenge these thoughts and replace them with more balanced, constructive perspectives. This kind of mental discipline is a practice, one that requires continual effort, but it empowers you to stay grounded in peace rather than being tossed about by worry or negative self-talk. The combination of discipline and awareness is what allows peace to become a sustainable part of your life. It's about making choices that support your well-being, nurturing habits that align with inner calm, and being conscious of the subtle ways in which your peace can be compromised. It's about showing up for yourself every day, doing the work, and being mindful of the present moment. Through these practices, you can cultivate a deep, abiding peace that is not dependent on circumstances, but is rooted in your ability to stay disciplined and aware.